I'm Laura Rae, and I have my 10 best beauty swaps for summer. I change out products depending on the season. I live in North Florida, and it can get pretty cold in the winter, into the 20s and 30s. And I have noticed such a big difference since we moved here. I grew up in Miami and Fort Lauderdale, and the weather was just continuously hot. We didn't have any cold times. I never could understand why people needed moisturizers so much until I moved to North Florida. And the year we moved here in 2004 was one of their coldest winters they had had in a while. And I saw such a change in my skin. That's when I started swapping out products depending on the season. So today I want to share with you products that I'm using over the summer that just work great for this time of year. So just like we swap out our clothing depending on the season, I swap out my makeup, I swap out sunscreens even, just different products that I feel work better for the summer. So let's start with moisturizer. When it was winter time, I was using something heavier. I know at one point I was using the Olay, the Microsculpt cream, I think it's called, and that was just beautiful. It was a little heavier. Now recently, Tula, a brand I've loved for a long time, sent me this moisturizer. It's a 24/7 moisturizer, and this is just perfect for summer. It's very lightweight. It's hydrating. It's made for day and night, so I don't need two different products. I can just use this whether I'm putting it under makeup, which I love how this plays with makeup. Look at how quickly that absorbs into my hand. Well, that's what happens on my face. So it goes into the skin quickly, and I don't have to wait around for it to sink in to apply my sunscreen and then put on any makeup I'm going to put on. So I am really loving this. Tula is a brand that has just so many great ingredients in their products and are missing a lot of what we call the nasties. But I don't notice any scent to it. I'm very scent sensitive. I can't stand products that have perfumey scents. And this is just beautiful. I love the shimmer that it gives to my skin. It's not this really greasy look like some products are. It's just a nice luminous look to the skin. So I'm really happy with this. Let's talk about sunscreen. Now, I wear sunscreen year round, but what happens in the summer is a lot of times I just put a tiny bit of foundation on top of it or none at all. During the winter time, I was wearing more full coverage, but I feel like some of these tinted sunscreens I've been trying look so great, and right now I am having good skin. About 2 or 3 months back, I was struggling. I had breakouts, and I haven't had breakouts since probably my 40s. And just all the stress I was under was just bringing out all kinds of acne on my skin. But thankfully, that's cleaned up. I went to the dermatologist and had my yearly skin check. He saw nothing there and said that my skin was looking good and I was just having some flare-ups with the acne. So these are two that I'm loving. Today I wanted to put on the Tower 28 because I've only done one video, I think, where I've shown this. This is fabulous. It's called Sunny Days, and it's a broad spectrum SPF of 30. And this tint will give you protection against light, off phones, off computers. That's why it's important to have tint in your sunscreen. And I didn't realize that till recently, that the tint actually has ingredients to protect you from light. So I'm loving that. And then also the Elta MD, that's another one that is a beautiful formula. And I find when I wear these two, I can just go without foundation and maybe just put a little concealer on. Today I went around the edge of my nose with my favorite, the Winky Lux. This really looks nice. Now, this was the shade medium deep. I'm really better with the medium, but I had this and I thought, well, I'll use it sort of like contour for the nose. Now, one tool that I'm using today is this. I've shown it on the lips, but it can actually be used to apply cream products on the face. And then I'm using an old-fashioned tool, the wedge sponge. I've fallen in love again with the wedge sponge. It's perfect for blending out edges. And when we use these cream products, they can look very streaky very easily. And I find that if you dampen your sponge, now what I do, instead of having to run to the sink, now if I was in the bathroom, I'd have a sink nearby, I take this Avin water and just squirt the sponge, because you do want to have it wet as you're blending anything on the face with makeup. So if I want to go back and blend edges of the blush, I can just lightly go around the edges, and this will do a fantastic job. I love switching my polish for summer. In the winter, I love all the berries and the burgundies and those shades. But then by the time spring comes, I'm looking for brighter colors. In summer, I love colors like this. This is Birthday Girl from Essie, but I have a lot of Essie different pink polishes and sort of nude, sandy kind of polishes. But what's great about these, if you're swimming, if you're in the water more, they don't show the wear. I'm about to paint my nails. Actually, I've had this on for several days. I've done dishes, I've cleaned the house, and it's just lightly wearing on the edges. I really could get by with not doing my nails for a few more days. So I find in the summer, getting away from matte polishes that chips can show very easily, and going to something with a nice shimmer or sparkle or even glitter will last so long in the nails. And that really helps. Like when I went on vacation, I put on a clear from Nail Aid that had a pink to it, and that lasted the whole 2 weeks. It stayed on my nails till I got home. I find that low maintenance nails in the summer, if you're really busy or you're doing a lot of activities, are very helpful. I like cream highlighter instead of powder in the summer, and one that we've all seen over and over, and it deserves recognition, is the L'Oreal True Lumi Glotion. This is such a beautiful product. I never liked putting it all over my face. Some people use it like a primer. I don't like that for me, but what I do love is for a highlighter. I can put it on the cheeks, down the nose, over the Cupid's bow, and it just gives such a beautiful, natural looking highlight. I bought medium. Now, if you buy a lighter shade, you're going to get more of it showing. I just wanted something really soft and natural where no one would say, oh, she's wearing highlighter. They would just notice that maybe I looked a little brighter. So I find that every summer I buy a new one. I've had several of these, and I just use it mostly in the summer. And in the fall and winter, I go back to more powders and I buy a new one next summer. But this is a product that never fails me. Another cream highlighter that I love, I wanted to share, is from Tula. Now, I purchased this months ago. I have this in the gold, and this is the Rose Glow. What I like about this is it has skincare ingredients in it, so it's very moisturizing. So if you're dry around the eye area, the crow's feet, this is just perfect. This is not going to get in wrinkles, which is another reason I love it. It has more of the texture of a skincare product. So I'm rubbing it on my hand here to show you. See all the highlight? It just feels like I put a little moisturizer on, and it's got a very wet feel to it. So I'm going to add a little bit just so you can see the difference. Look at how brightening that is, yet it sinks in like water. So I think for a mature woman, this product is just beautiful. You could carry it in your purse. If you feel like you need a little pop of something to just brighten you up, let's put a little under my brow. I'm just going to put a little there. It just really brings your face to life. There is no shortage of liquid blush out there, and in the summer, I really want a blush that just looks like I've been in the sun when I'm not. I never go out and just sit and get sun. I will go on a walk, and usually the walks my husband and I go on are either super early in the morning because it is so hot and humid, or late in the evening, right before sunset. So I'm really not in the sun very much, but I want to have that summer look, that glow. So I find that liquid blushes look so natural and are just so beautiful for summer. Now, I did a wear test for a YouTube short where I went to school and had this e.l.f. liquid blush on, the camo. And boy, it lasted all day, even after recess, going outdoors. It was amazing. I couldn't believe it. Now, that's super affordable. One that's a little pricier that I love is this Double Duty Beauty from Tarte. It's the Man-Eater blush. And that's what I'm wearing today. It's just gorgeous. It goes into the skin beautifully. No streakiness, no patchiness. But of course, I can say the same thing about the e.l.f. This is the shade Dusty Rose in the e.l.f. And I just think it's so beautiful. And this is Pink Coral. I like Pink Coral because I can wear this shade pretty much with everything that I own. So it's a beautiful color, very natural looking, and something that's just a perfect swap for summer. When I go to the beach, sometimes I'll find a shell that when you turn it, you just get so many different beautiful shades. Well, that's what I think about cream eyeshadow sticks. I just think they look so beautiful. They have that pearly look. Some of them do if they're a pearl finish for summer. So I love them so much. I've shown many here on my channel. Recently, Jane Iredale sent me some to try, and they're gorgeous. And that's what I'm wearing today. I took 3 of the sticks. The darker one is called Dove Gray, and I'm using that on the outside of the eye and as liner. My mid-tone shade I'm using today is Saddle. And then this one here, Moonstone, just adds that beautiful shimmer to the eyes. Look at how beautiful they look. So easy to do. I took my Angie brush, this little one from the travel set. It's the A502. It's a fluffy brush, and just to blend out the edges. And then also the 208, the liner, I'm always raving about this. This is such a tiny brush, but it's mighty. Don't underestimate tiny brushes. It really is great for blending that bottom line into the top line. When I do the little bit of wing, I don't even know that you'd call it a wing. I just lift the shadow up instead of going down because that'll make my eyes look really tired and downward. I like to bring the shadow up to here at the edge of the eye. So I will do that on the top line, but then I'll take the bottom line and pull it up into that line so they mesh together. And it gives me sort of more of a cat eye or lifted look. So this brush I would not be without. I use it all the time. But these shadows from Jane Iredale, they have such quality ingredients. I've loved her brand for years. I remember my sister calling me. My sister does not like makeup. Can you believe that? My sister does not wear makeup most of the time. No shade. I'm not throwing any shade at her, but she just does not have the love of makeup that I do. And I remember her going to a spa one time for a facial, and she called me and she said, I bought all this makeup. You would be so happy. It's called Jane Iredale, and the ingredients are so clean. She said, I'll actually wear this to work. She loved it. So after she started raving about it years ago, that's when I checked into Jane Iredale. But these pencils are beautiful, and I'm really happy with the way they look. They're perfect for summer. Setting spray. I would not be without setting spray in the summer because just walking to my mailbox, which is just a few feet from the house, I break a sweat. It's that humid. The humidity here is crazy. My hair goes crazy. My makeup goes crazy. So I have to use the setting spray. This one from Milani I really like because it's a natural finish. I swap out the glowy kind of sprays in the summer and use more of a satin to matte finish. Now you might think you should be glowing in the summer. There's enough glow from the humidity. Those of you that live in a cooler climate and that are not getting those hot days, you might want to continue using a glowy setting spray, but not me. I got enough glow on my own. I don't need it coming from a spray. Then I just look shiny and greasy. So this one says right on it, natural finish, and that's why I like it. I like the dewier, glowier ones like the CoverGirl I've raved about in the fall and winter when it's a lot cooler here and my skin is drier and just everything changes. But this is perfect for summer. I just want to pause a moment to thank you for subscribing to my channel, for being here. All of the links are in the description of the video. Just hit the more button, and you purchasing from those links supports my channel, and I want to thank you so much for that. Frizz. The frizz is real in the summer. Oh my gosh. The weather changes and my hair changes. When my husband and I went to Mackinac Island, the temperature there at the highest was in the 60s, I believe. And my hair just was amazing. No frizz. I told my husband, look at this and enjoy it while you can, because the minute we get home, I'm going to be a frizz ball. So I've got to pull out all my tricks. And one of them is just using some oil in the hair, sort of a dry oil, something that's not going to weigh down my hair. So one of you months ago, maybe even a year, recommended the Davines oil. This is beautiful. Now it's heavily fragranced, which I'm surprised that doesn't bother me since almost every fragrance does bother me, but it dissipates enough to where it doesn't bother me. But if you're scent sensitive, I'd stay away from this. It's a little too much. But I put literally about half of a dime worth in my hair, and it really shines it up and helps with the frizz. Now, another one I like for bonding and helping with the health of my hair is the Olaplex bonding oil. This is another one that I've bought a couple of. You just literally use a drop. So this stuff lasts forever. A bottle like this, especially since I already have the Davines, might last me 1.5 years, even 2 years. So even though it's pretty pricey up front, it does last a long time and gives me great results. In the winter time, I tend to wear deeper shades of lipstick that's a little more full coverage of the lip and not so sheer. But in the summer, I'm all about tints, lip oils, sheerness, and just a really dewy look to the lips. So I want to share with you some of my favorites. One that I'm wearing is from ColourPop. This is their glowing lip. I shared this, I think, a couple of months ago. I picked it up at Target. Look at the shine on this. It's like a combination of lip balm, lipstick, and lip gloss all in one. And it's super affordable. I loved it so much I went back and bought a couple more. And with as much lip products as I have, that's saying a lot. I just loved it. I loved it when I was going to school. I popped this in my purse. I could put it on during the day. My lips never felt dry. So this is just one of my all-time favorite that I've ever owned. I love the pigment of it. I'll even put a little more on. Look at how that glides on the lips. Just so beautiful. I would think this is something high-end. I really would. If you put this in expensive packaging, I would think like Dior. That's how great it is. So I don't usually go on and on about a lip product like that, but this is a standout. Again, today I'm talking about the best. So of all the hundreds of products that I try, I'm sharing these with you because I think they're really great. Now from e.l.f., if you're a lover of Clinique Black Honey, this is not the exact shade, but let me tell you, this is the e.l.f. here. I'm going to show you that. And then I'm going to pull out Black Honey, which is a longtime favorite of mine, long before it ever went viral on the internet. I remember being introduced to it many, many years ago. Now here is Black Honey, and you can see Black Honey here is softer. It's not as intense. This is more grape. The Black Honey has more brown to it. But I love both of them, and the one from e.l.f. is very moisturizing. Let's see the shade. The shade is Ecstatic. And a lot of people online will say, oh, this is a dupe for Black Honey. Don't believe some of these dupes. I've tried so many that I felt duped. They weren't a shade match. They weren't anything alike. Now this is sort of close in texture. But I would even say the e.l.f. is a little heavier of a feel on the lips than the Clinique. So nowhere in my mind is this a dupe, but it's so cute. It's a great product on its own. It's got a little heart imprinted on the product. I just think it's great. Now it has sort of a different scent to it. Their jelly line has a certain scent, and that's what I'm smelling here, but it doesn't bother me. It's not off-putting, but I wanted to make you aware of that. I don't notice any scent from the ColourPop. I really don't. It doesn't stand out to me. Now, of course, I'm pulling out my Clinique Black Honey. Even though I prefer brighter shades in the summer, I swap to those from the burgundies and the mauves that I wear in the winter time. I still love this. I still am very loyal to this shade and to I just love the packaging. I like this slim, long packaging. I like it for my purse. I just love this. Even if it's not the best shade for me, I know there's other shades that look better on me than Clinique Black Honey, but for some reason, I just can't stop wearing it. Now, I did a YouTube short where I compared Clinique Black Honey and Clinique Pink Honey, which a lot of people don't know about Pink Honey, and I think that's disappointing. They should, because I think it might even be a better shade for a lot of people than Black Honey. This looks really great on people with fair skin to about my skin tone. If you have a deeper skin tone, I would think Black Honey probably looks better, shows up more. This is a lighter shade, but it really is a gorgeous, gorgeous lipstick, and I'll be wearing it a lot this summer. Another lip product that I love for summer is lip oil. Now, I was wearing this in the winter because I love the hydration that lip oils provide, but I still was wearing lipstick more than anything. Now, this is a brand new one from Wet n Wild. I was so excited to try it. I think the packaging is really cute. If it was in Sephora and it was $25, I bet a lot of people would buy it and still be happy. I think this is beautiful. It's not quite as thick as the NYX Fat Oil, so for many people, they'll like that. I always think of my mom when I'm trying makeup, and I think of my daughters too. And would they like the product? And like, I know my daughter would love the NYX Fat Oil, and I know my mother would not. She wouldn't like something that heavy on her lips. My younger daughter, Danielle, who's been in videos with me, she loves it. As a matter of fact, she thought it looked so good on me and said something to me like, "Oh, I just love that on you." So I went and bought her some, and she went crazy over it. So this one's not as thick as the NYX. And for a lot of people, I think they'll like it much better because I've tried some high-end lip oils like the Clarins, and none of those are super thick. They're thinner. And I know that NYX is trying to make it the fat oil thick so it will last longer. I think the Wet n Wild lasts just as long. I'll have to do some kind of wear test on it. But it's beautiful. It comes in different shades. I'm going to buy a couple more to try out the deeper shades and see how they look. But I think it's a great product for summer. One thing a lot of women swap out for summer is they go to a waterproof mascara. Now, one of my all-time favorites from the drugstore is the Lash Sensational Sky High. It's such a great product. It never smudges on me, doesn't make messes, lasts a long time. Now, I have gone to pretty much using tubing mascaras. That might last outdoors. It does when I go on walks because it's forming that tube around the lashes. And some people have said to me, I did a YouTube short where I said I had cried with the tubing mascara on and I had no mess. So tears, it held up. When I'm taking tubing mascara off, I literally will have to take water, take a Q-tip, and sort of brush through it to pull the tubes off. I don't know how they'd last in a swimming pool. I've never been swimming underwater with tubing mascara on, And I doubt I ever will. I rarely go in a pool anymore. But waterproof is great. So if you're going outside, you're just out at a picnic or something where it's hot, I think a tubing mascara like I love, like the e.l.f. Lash Extender, would be a great choice. And also the Maybelline Sky High is wonderful and waterproof. So those are my 10 swaps that I change for summer. I'd love to hear what you do. Are there products that you use in the summer? I'm sure some of you are surprised I didn't talk about self-tanner. I cannot wear it. I forget what the ingredient is. It's something acetone that turns the skin brown. I am so allergic to. I've tried so many over the years and I break out in hives everywhere. So I've given up because I figured out finally it was that ingredient that's in all of them that's doing the tanning that I'm allergic to. I know other people are allergic to tanning products because I've read in comments people with the same reactions. So I don't use any of that. I just embrace my natural skin. I don't tan to get tan. I might add a little bronzer. I didn't talk about bronzer today, but I don't even wear that often. I am about to turn 60. My birthday's coming up next week. And the older I get, the more I have just come to embracing myself, accepting myself for who I am. Who I am is my family. It's the things, the way I look, the way I talk, the way I behave, are all things from my family, my genetics. And I love my family. I thought about that one time. I used to look at my toes, and I have 2 different feet. This may be TMI, but I'm going to tell you because I think it really represents acceptance. On one foot, my toes look like my grandmother. The same toenails as my grandmother. The same second toe is a little bit longer than the first toe. That's her foot. My other foot looks just like my dad's. It's his toenails. That's her son. So it's the same side of the family. The look, the toes go down just very much down like they're meant to go, or at least that's what people tell us they should look like. And I feel like I have 2 different feet. But I love my father and I love my grandmother. And so when I look at the toes, instead of thinking, oh, look at my feet, they don't match, they look different, I go, oh, look, there's a little piece of my grandmother still with me. And look, just like my dad. So I think a big part of aging and being happy is self-acceptance. And I love playing with makeup and skincare and just trying to make myself look as polished as I can, but I don't want to change myself. So I'll leave you with those thoughts today. Let me know how you feel. I'd love to hear your words of wisdom because I know you all have so much to share and we can help each other. I love you all so much. I hope you have a blessed week and I'll look forward to seeing you soon.